Man versus Slug.
So a couple of weeks ago I mentioned spending a little bit more money, and we'd decided to get some more bamboo canes so that we have bamboo canes that are all the same length for the runner beans to grow up. And I was so taken with the octagons that we built for supporting the broad beans. I built a little octagon to hold the top of the runner bean Tipi. So now we need to build that. Inside or outside?
I think inside. I was wondering that too.
I was just going to suggest maybe in the next video get more hits that way. We had a bit of a discussion just now about whether we should plant them on the inside of the teepee or the outside. So now I'm going to go and read the Veg In One Bed book and see if it actually says anything. And maybe we'll have to dig them up and move them. No, they can stay there. Sadly, all our strawberry plants died. So on my visit to our local No More Miles nursery, I managed to pick up some more tomatoes, despite being there to drop off some tomatoes. But these are tumbling toms, which I thought might do well in a sort of wall garden, hanging garden kind of thing. So we're going to whack these in a greenhouse full of tomatoes. So if they don't make it, it's not the end of the world. Yeah, just sad we haven't got any strawberries. Last year, by the time I got the greenhouse watering system anywhere close to functioning, the tomatoes had grown up so large I couldn't actually lay out the sort of pipes and the nozzles and get the pressure equalised. So I'm making a start early. This morning I have laid out all of the piping. I've now got the pump on the water. I've taken all the caps off the nozzles to see how the water's flowing. And you can see that these two nearest where the hose comes into the greenhouse are flowing nicely, and the far end of the greenhouse we've got nothing. So now I need to put caps on until they get water sort of flowing evenly. Now I've got drips coming out of most of the nozzles to a greater or lesser extent, but it's not really spraying out like I'd hoped. So we haven't got the watering system finalised yet, but we need to get these tomatoes in the ground, so we're just placing out where we're going to put the pots. These are the determinate tomatoes. So determinate tomatoes only grow to a fixed height. Unfortunately, it didn't say what size on the packet that fixed height is, but we're going to grow them nearer to the door and then put the indeterminates further away from the door. The indeterminates will be planted under where the shelves are now. We can fold these shelves down, but that means we can't really put them in until finished using the shelves. Ground's rather solid because it's been stood on while we've been in the greenhouse and dried out quite a lot. So that looks definitely like a plant that needs to get out of its pot and into the ground.
You have to relax the roots while they're shaped. So that should do it enough. I'll just
teasing out a few roots and into the ground. That's right by one of the drippy sprinkler heads. As normal, I am overplanting, so we've put in 5 of the determinate tomatoes, and now we've got a few of the indeterminate tomatoes starting to look a little bit wilty, so I'm going to put those into bigger pots for now. Sadly, one of the cucumbers failed to make it, so I've planted a couple more of the cucumber seeds, but we still have over the back here 1 cucumber and a watermelon. One last thing in the greenhouse for today is I'm going to put the pumpkins into the larger pots to the side of them, and then put the indeterminate tomatoes into the pot noodle pots that pumpkins currently set in, to give everything a little bit more space to grow.
Bit of damage on the edge of the lettuces here. Don't actually think this is slugs. I think this has been birds that have been landing on the edge and helping themselves, but I think we're good for lettuces right now. So much lettuce, we've got a beautiful Caesar salad.
My wife and I had a bit of a discussion this week about flowers on the broad beans. I was saying how I was starting to really appreciate them. They have that sort of nice delicate purpley shade, and I think they're quite interesting. And my wife, on the other hand, doesn't really like them. She finds them too spotty, and she was concerned that if I posted close-up videos like this, people with trypophobia, I think that's the word, fear of spots and sort of holy things, might find them too disturbing, which is ironic given how freckly she is. Anyway, I think she probably prefers the flowers on the potatoes, which are nice sort of plain, delicate, whitey yellow colour. Bit of a disaster going on with the broad beans. We appear to have got some black fly on them. Yeah, this plant is pretty infested with black fly. So now to deal with them. So I've just spent the last half hour committing black fly genocide, but I'm sure there's loads of black flies still on here. They tend to hide down just where the flower stalk meets the stem, which makes picking them off really hard. If you've got any suggestions of how to deal with black fly beyond picking them off one by one with tweezers, I'd be really happy to hear them in the comments below. Hope you've enjoyed this week, and see you again on Man vs Slug.